Every civilization has a myth that acts as a mirror. Ancient Greece has Prometheus, stealing fire from the gods. The modern world, however, has a much deeper, darker reflection. We belong to the myth of Faust, the man who sold his soul to the devil. Long before he became a literary titan, Faust was a real person. A man named Johann Georg Faust wandered through Germany in the early 1500s. He was a trickster, an alchemist, and an astrologer. To the superstitious public, his uncanny knack for chemistry looked like black magic. When Faust died in a horrific laboratory experiment in around 1541, the rumors solidified that Faust must made a pact with the devil. But why this specific rumor captured the collective imagination of the whole Europe for the next 500 years? Because Faust was not just a sinner, he was a symbol of a new era. The Renaissance was breaking away from the old medieval pity, and the human beings were suddenly intoxicated with a new drug, ultimate potential. By the time the German philosopher and poet Johann Wolfgang von Goethe got hold of the story by the 19th century, he stripped away from the simple Sunday school morality. Goethe understood that Faust's true crisis was not wickedness, it was existential boredom. Goethe's Faust I, opens with a man who has spent his entire life studying law, philosophy, theology, medicine, and whatnot. He has mastered every field of human knowledge. And what is his conclusion? And here I stand with all my lore, poor fool, no wiser than before. This is what Søren Kierkegaard described as intellectual despair. Faust looked into the abyss of human knowledge and found it empty. He doesn't turn to evil because he wants to do evil. He turns to evil because he's trapped under the weight of the meaninglessness. He wants to feel something, anything. And if I read from Goethe's Faust I have, alas, philosophy, medicine, jurisprudence too, and to my cost theology, with ardent labor studied through. And here I stand with all my lore, poor fool, no wiser than before. Magister, doctor style, indeed, I have 10 years I lead, up, down, across, and to and fro, my pupils by the nose, and learn that we in truth can nothing know, that in my heart like fire doth burn. And also he says, "'Tis true I have more cunning than all your dull tribe, magister, doctor, priest, person, and scribe. Scruple or doubt comes not to enthrall me, neither can devil nor hell now appeal me. Hence also my heart must all pleasure forego. I may not pretend through teaching to find a means to improve or convert mankind." And here comes Mephistopheles. In Christopher Marlowe's Renaissance play, Dr. Faustus, I'm holding it. The whole name is The Tragical Story of the Life and the Death of Dr. Faustus. Mephistopheles is a brooding fallen angel. When Dr. Faustus asked Mephistopheles why he isn't in hell, Mephistopheles replies, "Why this is hell, nor am I out of it." So to Marlowe, hell isn't a place with fire. It's a psychological state completely separated from meaning. But Goethe's Mephistopheles is completely different. He is witty, cynical, and deeply intellectual. He introduces himself with one of the greatest lines of literature: "I am the spirit that constantly denies." And if I read from Faust I, "The spirit I, which evermore denies, and justly, for whatever to light is brought, deserves again to be reduced to naught, then better to add that naught should be. Thus all the elements which destruction, sin, or briefly evil name, as my peculiar element I claim. Mephistopheles is the personification of absolute nihilism. He represents the voice of the back of our modern minds that says, nothing really matters. Every human effort is a joke and new creations are just waste of time. Mephistopheles is the ultimate realist, mocking Faust, romantic idealism, grand idealism. In Marlowe's play, there is a strict contact, 24 years of absolute power. Then Mephistopheles will drag Faust into the hell. But in Goethe's play, in Faust, it is not a absolute deal, it is a wager. Faust bets his soul to Mephistopheles that he can never satisfy him. Faust says to Mephistopheles that the moment I will lie down on the bed of ease, and I will be so content that I will look at a second and say, stay, thou art so fair. And this will be the moment you can drag me to the hell. Faust is betting his soul on his own insatiability. Faust is betting that human desire is a bottomless pit. For Goethe, the ultimate sin is not the forbidden knowledge. The ultimate sin is stagnation. To stop striving, to be satisfied with what is to die. And if I read it, Faust says, I feel it, I have heaped upon my brain the gathered treasure of man's thought in vain. And when at length from studious toil I rest, no power, newborn, springs up within my breast. A hair's breadth is not added to my height. I am no nearer to the infinite.